If you fall into the group of the chosen ones, right? Or just somebody who chases excellence, right? Because that's a big difference. Somebody who chooses to be great at the things that they do, chooses to excel in all their endeavors. If you're one of those people, you will have the most problems with mediocre people, right? My grandfather told me this, about say like a year ago, right? And I didn't really understand what he meant, but he gave me some examples. He was like, "Yo, Jay, um, all my problems came with basic people, mediocre people. When I ran into greats like Bob Marley's, um, and Don Sherry's and other intellectuals, it was immediately just like became immediate friends right there on the spot, right? And as I went on in life, I was kind of like thinking, like what is a mediocre person, like what makes somebody great, excellent, right? Is it the money? Is it the status? It's like what is it? Is it how they articulate? Is it who like what is it, right? What makes somebody great? And as I'm going along this path, I'm noticing what separates somebody who's excellent versus somebody who's mediocre is simply their wisdom, simply what they know and how they're choosing to use it, right? True wisdom of the situation, of lineage, of history, of just everything, right? Um, and then the implication of that, right? It's not nothing correlated to status or money, right? At all, at all, at all. Even if they do have something that you want, they can be a fool. I wrote down in my journal right here. I was like, what's it called? Ooh, I actually want to find it for you guys. Oh, here you go. It's on this page, right? I'm reading. Look at figures like my grandfather, the Watts Prophets, Nipsey, Kendrick, J. Cole. If you want some examples of striving for excellence, it's not so much what they're doing, it's the wisdom they have and how they're using it to inspire the masses. Other than that, all these other caliber of artists are fly by night, here today, gone tomorrow, mobbed out artists, meaning the culture is their only influence and it's not rooted in anything real, besides the status and money which came from being chicken minded. A follower can also have followers, so be careful with false leadership. Examine their character, right? Because a lot of us tend to take heat to rappers and artists and things like that, and and I kind of understand, right? Because in today's time, our rappers and our artists are the only senses of that we get close to leadership, right? People who actually speak out their voice, say what's true, say what's up. Now, I'm not saying everybody doesn't do that because we do have some figures like 19 Keys, right? 19 Keys is popping up and he's one of the people who's utilizing his voice as a way to penetrate and inspire and move people, right? But typically, we see that happening with rappers, right? Artists. So if we're looking at these different type of artists and we're looking at the people for inspiration, we need to actually examine, are these people great or are they just good at what they do, right? Are they excellent or are they just good at what they do? That's two different things, right? Somebody who's excellent, you hear it in the way that they talk, their perspective. They have information on certain things that you wouldn't even think that they have information on. You know, excellence excels, mentally and spiritually. When you run into problems with mediocre people, it it just feels like how can I put this? Problems come out of nowhere. Problems come out of thin air. You know, and it doesn't seem to be a fun experience. At least for me, you guys. I don't know. I just been learning. To really put my attention back onto myself. To really prioritize building myself. Um, because it's just so much more beneficial. You get so much more stuff done. You get so much more clarity. You get so much more focus. Um, when they say focus on yourself like an only child, dog, that shit is so real, so real. Because just allowing somebody into your life, allowing somebody into your frequency, just allowing somebody into your space, you're allowing the problems that come with that person as well. Sometimes you just gotta step back. You feel me? And figure yourself out, build yourself, align with yourself, and then let everything else fall into play. You feel me? Let the people who's meant to be in your life align with you in your life. If they're not meant to be in your life, they're not meant to be in your life. You just gotta let it go. You feel me? Stop trying to hold on to mediocre shit. You feel me? If you're striving for excellence, if you're striving to be great, when you see somebody's operating from some mediocre ass shit, just low vibrational, low, just anything low vibrational, step back. Do your own thing. You feel me? It's not that important to you. You feel me? It's not that important to your purpose, your longevity, because God will always align great people in great people's paths. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. And there's not a person you can go to who's great, who's actually great, and he can't look around and point to you at least five other great people in his circle or that he's experienced in his lifetime. I promise you, right? Because that energy attracts other people. It's like a frequency, right? When you're striving for excellence, you're gonna cause a ripple effect. You're gonna rub the feathers of the ones that's not excellent because they don't like seeing people that's excellent because it reminds them that they're not actually as excellent as they can be. But then once you actually do start penetrating into that spirit and that longevity of excellence, you attract other people because it's like a tribe. You need that close knit type of circle of just excellence. Everybody's on their shit and it's morally correct, right? That has to be the underlying basis in everything too. There has to be morals and ethics and every fucking thing, right? The nigga business and all that type of shit, that shit has to go out the door. You feel me? Lying, manipulation, cockiness, egos, all that shit needs to go out the door. You feel me? And actually get aligned into purpose, get aligned into trueness, realness. You feel me? We should have codes between each other. Like, this is what we do and this is what we don't do. And if you do this, there's these consequences for this, right? And you know what's crazy? The only time you actually see that type of stuff happening is in gang life, unfortunately, right? They're the only ones who, or police structures and shit like that, right? But we don't. If you're a normal person who isn't in gang culture, but you're also not in the fucking system in no facet like that, we need to have systems amongst the people, right? Don't do this shit, or else there will be consequences. We will treat you like what you're doing, right? There needs to be a certain level of discipline between us and the way that we do things so we can start moving forwards, start looking back, like actually inform ourselves so we're not ignorant. Actually get information. Let's actually study where we came from. Let's actually study what's important. Let's actually study our lineage and our ancestry. Let's actually let's search for that knowledge, that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Like my papa always says, y'all, that shit is so real. But we, we don't pay attention to it. We let money, cars, women, followers, I don't fucking know how a nigga dress, how a nigga talk. I don't fucking know. We let all this superficial stuff dictate who we view as a true leader and who we give actual grace to in a position of leadership. Some people we just need to get the fuck away. Like you feel like you shouldn't even be right there. Let's remove you and put somebody else right there who actually knows how to utilize that space, right? Because when you're striving for excellence, there's only so much space there, right? No, don't get me wrong. Everybody can be excellent, but excellent wouldn't be a thing if everybody was excellent. That right there shows that there's a baseline in mediocrity, right? So when you're penetrating through that group of excellence, that's a small niche group right there, and it's nothing but leaders because the people who strive for excellence are the ones who took it upon themselves to do it first. Leadership does not imply that you have followers and all this other type of shit. Leadership simply means that you went first. Leadership simply means you did the shit yourself, right? And then you allowed other people to take suit, and then they started doing it. You led the movement. We need that. We need that shit, y'all. So yeah, if you're striving for excellence, it will be a lonely road. It will be the road less traveled. You will have to go through some adversities, and you will have to sit with yourself, and you will have to align with your true God-given purpose, your true God-given mission, right? That's usually the cure to all of this too, right? The moment you start running into so many mediocre people and you just feel like it's just too much, that's telling you right then and there you need to align with your purpose, because God wouldn't, if you're in purpose, you wouldn't even be having to interact with the mediocrity. It's because you're choosing to interact with mediocrity. So the moment you choose to interact with purpose, you no longer have time for mediocrity. You no longer have time for bullshit. You no longer have time for the things that's going to set you back and waste your energy, waste your life force. You feel me? Tap in, y'all. Tap in, tap in, tap in. I love y'all. Be safe. Love y'all once again.